One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise, it's a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his step, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. Rituals report he pays his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Man, oh man, we made it through another weekend, man. Much love, honor, respect, everybody, and happy freaking Monday to everyone. Feels ultra good in the building. Hopefully everyone's enjoying their morning so far. I know the heck that we are, as much as we can on a Monday morning. Listen, we got NATO Vows urgent response. Yes, we have officially sent from the United States. U.S. sends Patriot missiles, as well as, I believe, early this morning, Russia launched a major aerial attack over there, headed towards Ukraine, obviously. And I have not only this and some of the comments that Trump regarding this whole thing. For instance, the very first thing we're going to be talking about is Russia insists on achieving goals in Ukraine, despite the ultimatum from President Trump. And we'll hear a little bit of what Trump has to say as well. And then Russia launches a major aerial attack on Ukraine hours before high-level talks. This is as of 3 hours ago. Says Russia launched a major aerial attack on Kyiv, which is the main capital of Ukraine over there, just hours before before high-level talks on support for Ukraine. The attack killed 2 people and wounded 15. Okay, according to Vladimir Zelensky over there. Then we have some interesting shit that's happening that I don't have listed on the title. I do that all the time. But there's an interesting story 2 hours ago. Bangladesh Air Force crash. 19 were killed and 50 were hurt. That's unfortunate there. Then we have another update regarding Israel. It's actually a fairly short update. It's a breaking news ordeal from 1 hour ago. Israel-Hamas war, according to the IDF strikes military targets the Houthi rebels down there in Yemen. So we have a lot to get through, as well as, actually, I forgot one last thing. We do have one other last update as of 30 minutes ago. With the full remarks, which we're not going to listen to the full remarks. We'll skip through a little bit. But Secretary Kristi Noem gives update on shooting of Border Patrol agent over there in New York. So we have all of this to discuss this morning. And real quick, just got to give a quick little shout out. Before the show, right as the show started, we had Brother Gorilla Biscuits making it rain twice before the show had even started, man. So I very much appreciate you this morning, my man. So on that note, make sure you guys come in and hit that like button. It helps out the show immensely, and it's free to do so. And if you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because it's also free. Please consider becoming a member, though. This is the part that does cost money if you want to help out the show. Listen, becoming a member is the #1 way to support this channel, man. I very much appreciate all of your guys' contributions in that regard. Becoming a member allows us to speak the way that we do and not cater to the mainstream or saying crazy shit on YouTube just to get views, which we don't do that here. We're 100% funded by the Breakfast Club. By you guys. Side note, follow my Instagram right here at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as Millennial Food Time. And listen, this breaking news, great way to get a hold of me one-on-one. But if you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that Discord link for all of us in the Breakfast Club to continue the conversation after the show's over. And last but not least, every super chat, super sticker, gifted membership signups, all of these things are, of course, going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys would like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms that you guys can donate to. And of course, I will read it right as soon as I get it. I got my email lock and loaded, ready to go. And when you guys send something, of course, I will be reading that and shouting it out. So we got Naomi up in the building. Good morning to you, as well as brother Steve Easy, my man. We got Gorilla Biscuits letting us know that he has to get back to work, but he sends in, before the show even started, he sends in 2 memberships, man. I very much appreciate that. You're not only helping me, but you're helping people in the Breakfast Club, man. I very much appreciate that. All right, so we've got brother Bill Castle, my man, over there in Washington State. Good to see you as well. We got Tiffany up there in Tennessee. Good to see you as well. We got Scramble North. Good morning to you, kind sir. Lappy, my man. Good morning. Good morning. We got brother Beezer up in the building as well, saying morning, fam. Absolutely. We got brother Hardwire as well. Good morning to you as well, man. Hopefully you're enjoying your mornings so far. Your morning, including a 12-year-old boy. Yeah, that's incredible. That's rough. And I think I know you're talking about over there in Russia or in Ukraine, actually, but Russia ain't shook. Yeah, no kidding. Steve, you know what I find very interesting is all these different analysts that go up onto these, such as Live Now from Fox or whatever. I find it really interesting when they're like, oh, Russia fucking is backed into a corner. Putin is, done. It's like, okay, they're not as bad off as like you motherfuckers in the media like to say they are. They're definitely not. That's a good way to throw out some calming propaganda for the United States and the rest of the world, I guess, right? So real quick, before we get into the madness, man, we got to do this for the pocket watchers.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Shit. That's right, brother Beezer. He knows the deal. That's right. Breaking news. Hit the damn like. Don't be gay. That's a W comment, homie. I very much appreciate you. We got Frederick Frame, my man. Good morning to you. And Naomi is confirming that. Yes, in Ukraine. Yeah, I figured as much. Liquored up with Poncho. What's up, my man? Hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into it. Russia insists on achieving goals in Ukraine despite the ultimatum from President Trump. Now, this is the only story we're going to be presenting from yesterday, okay? This was 14 hours ago. Usually we kind of start from about 15, 16 hours ago, and then we catch you guys up to current time. Now, this is the only one that's from yesterday. All the rest of the stories in chronological time is 3 hours or under, except for this one ago, meaning how long ago it was posted. So let's go ahead and get into it.
All right. Welcome back in Alive Now. I'm Austin Westfall. Let's get the latest updates out of the Russia-Ukraine war. Russia says that it is open to peace with Ukraine, but achieving its goals remains a priority. That's according to a Kremlin spokesperson on Sunday. He said it days after President Trump gave Moscow a 50-day deadline to agree to a ceasefire or face tougher sanctions. Russian officials have repeatedly rejected accusations from Ukraine and its Western partners of stalling peace talks. We do have Hal Kempfer still here. Hal, the Kremlin says...
But regarding the Kremlin, there is, room to negotiate. But until the negotiation is completely signed and agreed upon or whatever, he's still going to be fucking them up right now, basically.
It's open to peace. But let's make something clear. They also want
get some, my man. Good morning.
To achieve their goals. They say that's a priority. Remind the people at home. What are Russia's goals? And are their goals compatible with peace?
No, I wouldn't say they're at all compatible with peace. No, I think Russia only gives a fuck about Russia. And at this point, regarding Ukraine, with this insane war that has happened, yeah, of course, I think that, Putin wants to take over at this point, Ukraine. He wants to take his shit back, essentially. Now, is this conducive for any type of, peace? No, it's definitely not. But again, how is this America's issue? I'll wait. Like, I just don't understand how and why we need to be involved and pay for this shit. I just don't understand it. Like, if we're over there bullying another country, like, I just don't understand why and whatever. Anyways, this whole thing, both sides are dickheads, just so everyone knows. Putin sucks dick, and so does fucking Zelensky. Yeah, I said it. They both do. Hard-headed, ignorant, arrogant fucks. And see, the one thing about Putin that I respect is he doesn't go over here and ask and beg fucking money. Well, of course, you're not going to get it from us, but nonetheless, he can like handle his own shit. You got Zelensky that going to the world stage. Hey, I need more money. I need money. I hate that shit. Both sides of the equation suck.
Well, I would put it this way, Austin. Their idea of peace would be when there's no piece of Ukraine left that's still under Ukrainian control. They still have gone back as recently as this last week, pushing out these absolutist, sort of extreme goals that Ukraine is intrinsically part of Russia. We've heard multiple spokesmen from the Kremlin saying that over and over again. Now they kind of caveat a little bit.
Brother Carney's ride, my man, they're about to say regarding I think you guys may have heard a little bit of talk about, Russia is willing to go ahead and have peace talks, blah, blah, blah. And this is regarding out there in Kremlin. So what they have to say doesn't necessarily reflect the entire war here. So
to this, there's 5 oblasts, which are provinces or like states that they largely control. Some of them they absolutely control, but there are a lot of them they're actually in contention, particularly up in the Donbass region. And they're what they would like to see is that Ukraine simply pulls out of this altogether, basically forsakes that sovereign Ukrainian territory, completely cedes it over to Russia, and that's what they're asking for. Now, first off, Ukraine can't agree to that under their constitution. They cannot agree to just simply give away sovereign territory like that.
We got brother GEG up in the building as well. Good morning, kind sir, over there on the West Coast. My man, super early in the morning.
To Russia. The second thing is it's a horrible precedent, and it appears that is not acceptable, certainly to Ukraine, but it's not acceptable to NATO, the European Union membership, and frankly, with the clear shift that we have seen with the Trump administration, it's not acceptable to the United States either. So what he's done is he's gone out there and basically said, yeah, we agree with peace if we get everything that we set out to do.
Right. Exactly. What he's right there. What he's saying. He's saying, yes, we're willing to sit down and have peace. But you got to let me do what I'm going to fucking do in all my requests, meaning Putin. I'm going to take this shit over. I'm going to take, you know what I mean? This is going to be under my control. And that's when we can discuss peace. That's what he's saying, basically. He needs to have his needs met, is what he's saying.
Which is a pardon the expression, but it's kind of a nothing burger, if you will. And I think that's how it's going to be received, which is more over-the-top Russian rhetoric about seizing and taking all of Ukraine.
President Trump has repeatedly called for peace in this war. The way he usually phrases it, Hal, is that he wants people to stop dying. But people are still dying, and the war shows no signs of slowing. At what point does this...
Well, here's a thing to think about with Trump and his way. You know how he says peace through strength, and we've always said that kind of thing. The way that he negotiates isn't necessarily on a geopolitical level. Now, one can argue it kind of is geopolitical, but he actually uses economics. That's his main way of being able to get people to sit down, and that's why he's always used tariffs, sanctions, shit like this, because he knows that ultimately that can most of the time get you to the table and agree on something. Now, when you're trying to have an agreement to that level and the other side doesn't give a fuck about that, they don't care about no economic, all that shit. They don't care. They don't care. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yes, ultimately, does it hurt Putin to have sanctions on him? Of course. Of course it will. But is it enough to get the man to stop taking over Ukraine? Fuck no. Fuck no. You know what I mean? So Trump does a very good job at getting people to negotiate because of his willingness to go after economics. But this is where the nuance of being a president comes in, and you not only dealing with economics. You got to play geopolitics sometimes, and he's not really playing geopolitics. He's playing a lot of economics.
Hit a breaking point with the White House.
I don't know. That's a good question. I think there's more likely scenario in what seems to be rolling out. Condoleezza Rice was talking about this too. She sees this as she didn't use the term strategic inflection point, but she sees this as a huge shift in the Trump administration policy, that they're not going to just blindly pursue peace at any price, so to speak. That they are really looking at this, and they see the number one problem towards any sort of settlement being Putin and the Kremlin. And so what you're seeing is we've kind of opened up, sending our weapons, after that little brief halt of sending weapons.
A little brief halt? I mean, that was that halt that we stopped sending weapons basically for the first 6 months of Trump's presidency. I thought that was the best thing that the United States could have done, is stop funding that bullshit war. I was proud of that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we just have to. That's Trump's words. We just have to. We have to give them defensive, weapons, which, have you ever heard of like a defensive gun? There is no defensive weapon. It's how you use it and your time. Now, these aren't like aerial defensive shit that they're talking about. We're talking about ballistic missiles, or not ballistic, Patriot missiles that are made right here in the United States. These are not defensive, weapons. They can be used as defensive weapons, absolutely. It's just like I said, it doesn't have to do with the weapon itself. It has to do with when you use it, your timing. That's what determines if it's, That's what determines if it's defensive or offensive. So I found this whole thing kind of ironic.
Recently, we've opened up sending weapons. We've kind of set up a new conduit for sending weapons, a new way.
Shit. What's up, Jeremiah? Good morning.
To fund sending those weapons using NATO European membership funds to pay for U.S. weapons going over. So all that's happening.
Well, unfortunately, Steve Easy, I think that not only Trump and his administration, but as well as us that supported him, I may have given him a little bit too much credit to be able to negotiate this ordeal. Because I'm okay, obviously, I'm okay with Trump sitting down and trying to negotiate a deal between the two. Where I draw the line is where we're sending fucking weapons, money, personnel, any of that shit. The United States needs to stay out of it completely unless it's a single just like, hey, I'll help facilitate this negotiation. And that's what I thought that Trump was going to do. Unfortunately, he doesn't have as much power over Putin as we may have thought he did. Real quick, we got brother Joseph up there in Canada, our favorite snow Mexican, saying, good morning, Mr. Ball, Lucy, Breakfast Crew, Bob, Stacks, and can't forget the haters, stop the cat.
Stop the cat.
Yes, sir, my man. Always appreciate you hanging out with us, man. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday morning.
One of the things behind the scenes is most of the 49 M1 Abrams tanks from Australia that were promised to Ukraine have now been delivered. They are in Ukraine. I know that doesn't seem like much, but that could be something critical to maybe getting a breakthrough on some of the front lines that have been rather static for a long period of time there. So what you're seeing...
Shit, real quick, we got my brother Gunpowder Nitro, my man. Nice to see you. And as well, real quick, we have Naomi letting us know. Hit the like button, man. We got to get the likes up. I very much appreciate your guys' laborious work helping the show out, and hit that like button. You guys don't have to like all the craziness that's happening in the world, but you guys can like it for me and my takes, man.
Is that the U.S. is shifting towards this and really looking towards a change in the military dynamic tied to what's going to happen on the diplomatic side. And frankly, when you're talking peace negotiations and stuff, it's always the military dynamic that drives.
Well, of course. I think we all know that. Of course. Anyways, real quick, we got Prez up in here as well. Good morning to you as well. Happy Monday. We all made it through the weekend. We're still alive. If he's a snow Mexican, his name is pronounced Yosef. Shit. All right, and we got Miss Lotus as well. Good morning to you over there in Florida. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday morning too.
Whatever happens in the diplomatic side. And I say that because a lot of times I'll hear people come out and say, oh, it's just we have to do diplomacy.
No, I'm from California, and I live in Alabama now, Jeremiah.
We have to do diplomacy. It's like diplomacy is simply talking about recognition of what's on the ground or what could happen or what is happening. It doesn't occur in a separate universe away from what's reality is on the ground in terms of where forces are and everything else. So that's why I think we're kind of shifting towards is really focusing on the military side to shift the conditions whereby the discussion can take place.
Who's winning
That's
on the
right,
battlefield,
Jason.
Hal?
My brother Jason knows the exact deal. My man, over there, pretty close to Chicago. My man, hopefully you're enjoying your morning. Good to see you as well. And yes, roll tide, brother. Roll tide. Real quick, let's see if I'm all caught up here. Okay, I'm good. Wait, nope, I wasn't. Pablo, Putin's domestic support is pretty weak. I would agree. Well, not that I actually know the general consensus of their own people, because I don't. But I would imagine that their support for not only Putin in this war, but I would imagine that it's just very lackluster. I'm sure they're like, we don't want to fucking be a part of any of this shit. Jeremiah says, I used to live in Hayward, California. Nice. I grew up in Long Beach, California, and then pretty much was all Southern California until last year. Moved here to Northern Alabama, and it's been the best move I could have ever done, man. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. It's the best fucking thing ever. I wish I would have done this decades ago, but the problem with doing that is I wouldn't be the person I am today if I would have moved here decades ago. So everything happens for a reason.
Who has the upper hand? I've read recently that the Russians have made some incremental gains during their summer offensive.
If you look at the amount of forces they've put in, they should have made tremendous gains. They are not making much headway at all. They have taken these. I think they've taken potentially 3 small towns in the last couple of weeks. And keep in mind,
as of right now, if you guys look up on ChatGTP or whatever, sorry for pausing it so much, but this is pertinent information. He says, yeah, they took over like 3 small villages or towns or whatever. If you guys look up, I believe the amount since the beginning of this war, Putin has taken over 20% of Ukraine since the beginning of that war. Now, if that's totally true, I don't know. Obviously, I don't. But that's something that is an interesting take. And then hearing that he just took over 3 more towns, which whether they're small, big, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's still, moving into Ukrainian territory, right?
that when they finally take these towns, there's no Ukrainians there. They've all pulled back and stuff. And in many cases, I'll see these kind of say 3 strategic villages or whatever. And rarely are they all that strategic. It's just a modest gain of ground. What we are seeing, though, is that Ukraine has really ramped up its drone production, not just first-person view drones on the front lines, which they're doing in droves. That is a drone-intensive environment from both sides. But as Russia has launched these massive waves of drones with some missiles into Ukraine, Ukraine has also
that's fucked up.
Responded by sending fairly large waves of drones deep into Russia, to include in Moscow. And so that's bringing the war home to Russians. And then the other thing, and maybe it'll take a while before it kind of metastasizes in Russian society, but as you know, in June, they went over 1 million Russian men lost in this war over this 3.
What? 1 million? What are you talking about? That's definitely not the number. It's not 1 million people. That's cap right now. I'm going to stop when motherfuckers start capping. That's what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to move on into the next ordeal. This is, as of now, 3 hours and sooner. Everything that we present, I believe we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stories, and these are all within the last 3 hours. Okay, so we are going to get right back into Russia, believe it or not. Russia, as we have this titled up on the main thing here, but Russia launches major aerial attack on Ukraine hours before high-level talks. And the high-level talks were the discussions of support for Ukraine, and this happens.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on Live Now from Fox. It's Monday, July 21st. I'm Sinead Francine, here with you for the next few hours to give you all of your breaking news alerts, top stories, and of course, your live events of the day. As we come on the air bright and early on this Monday, we are following...
Oh, hell no. I should ban that comment right now, Steve. Man, ain't this some bullshit?
Some breaking news as it relates to the conflict with Russia and Ukraine. The latest video provided to us here on Live Now from Fox on this Monday. We are learning from the Associated Press that Russia unleashed one of its largest aerial assaults on Ukraine in recent months, only hours before the UK and Germany are to chair a meeting to discuss U.S. President Donald Trump's plans for NATO allies to provide Ukraine with weapons.
Damn.
We're learning the attack killed 2...
I'm just looking at the pictures here, and yes, they're talking about the Patriot missiles getting over there, but I'm looking at this shit right here.
People and wounded 15, including a 12-year-old. That information coming from Ukrainian
Yep, just like Naomi said.
President Volodymyr Zelensky on this Monday. The drone and missile assault on Kyiv overnight into this Monday underscored the urgency of Ukraine's need for further Western military aid, especially in air defense. This a week after President Trump said deliveries would arrive in Ukraine within days. The virtual meeting will be led by British Defense Secretary John Healey and his German counterpart. Healey said U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and NATO leader Mark Rutte, as well as NATO Supreme Allied Commander, will attend the meeting of the Ukraine Defense Contact Group. We're also learning this morning that Moscow has...
I like that guy, by the way. Ninja Legend, that he's got some shirt on, and he definitely looks like the typical Ukrainian over there. You know, big, bulky, big dude, short shorts on, you know what I mean? Fuck.
Intensified its long-range attacks on Ukrainian cities, and analysts say the barrages are likely to escalate as Russian drone production expands. In a shift of tone...
Oh, man, Pablo, that's awesome. Where's the video at?
Toward Russia, the U.S. president last week actually gave Moscow a 50-day deadline to agree to a ceasefire or face tougher sanctions. We do know at this morning's meeting, British Defense Chief John Healey is expected to urge Ukraine's Western partners to launch a coincidental 50-day drive to get Kyiv the weapons it needs to fight Russia's bigger army and force Russian President Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table. Trump's arms plans, announced a week ago, involved European nations sending American weapons to Ukraine via NATO, either from existing stockpiles or buying and donating new ones.
And we have the specific on the U.S. sending those Patriot missiles, not this next story, but the one after that, just so everyone knows. So we do have an exact ordeal of what's happening with these Patriot missiles and where they're at now, because these were talks about them soon landing over there in NATO and what NATO is going to do. But we answered that question for you guys right here on the Insane Wheels channel, man. Very much appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let's get the like button
President
up,
indicating discussions were partly focused on advanced Patriot air defense systems and said a week ago that deliveries would begin, quote, within days. So a lot to follow bright early this Monday as relates to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. If you're just now tuning in, good morning to you. We're following the very latest, learning that Russia has launched...
Okay, she's just consolidating there. We already heard that. We're going to move on into the next story here. Yes, sir. Pablo says I'll put it up on my Facebook page. Absolutely. Dragon Classy, hopefully you're enjoying your morning as well. Happy Monday to you and everyone in here, man. All right, so let's go ahead and move on into Bangladesh. This is a quick story and a nice little in-between story here. Bangladesh Air Force crash, 19 killed and 50 hurt. Damn.
7:12 is the time this Monday morning. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Gina Francine. Following some tragic news, it takes us out to Bangladesh. Take a good look at your screen. We're learning, according to Reuters, at least 19 people have been killed as a Bangladesh Air Force training aircraft crashed into a college and school campus in the capital city there this Monday.
What? So it wasn't even just an Air Force crash. It crashed into a fucking college campus. Holy fuck.
We're learning more than 50 people, including children and adults, were hospitalized with burns. The incident occurring at the Milestone School of College there in the northern area. Videos of the aftermath of the crash showing a big...
Well, I thought it was... Well, I mean, like, it was condensed. It was short. Not a nice little story as in it's nice to hear. No, or none of that. But it is consolidated only in 2 minutes.
Fire near a lawn, emitting a thick plume of smoke into the sky. And now you're getting a live look at that campus on this Monday morning. Firefighters sprayed water on the mangled remains of the plane, which appeared to have rammed into the side of a building, damaging iron grills and creating a gaping hole in the structure. Visuals show people screaming and crying as others try to comfort them. As you can imagine, this is a high emotion situation.
Well, yeah.
To provide further perspective to the area, we know this incident comes a little over...
Dude, how would that feel if your own fucking Air Force fucking kamikaze bombed your own college campus? Yeah, there'd be some emotions. Yeah, no fucking shit. Jesus.
For a month after an Air India plane crashed on top of a medical college hostel in a neighboring India city. That incident killed 241 of the 242 people on board.
Right, that was that one, that was India. That was in India's what they're referring to right there was an Indian airline or whatever that was. So I'll back it up a little bit so you guys can hear that.
City. That incident killed 241 of the 242 people on board, along with 19 people on the ground. It marked the world's worst aviation disaster in a decade. Again, if you're just now tuning in, tragic news to report this Monday morning. At least 19 people killed as Bangladesh Air Force plane crashes into a college campus. You're getting a live look at the scene here at 7:14.
Yeah, that's terrible.
On the East Coast as bystanders have come there to watch.
Yeah, this shit just happened. Let me look in here. At least 19 people were killed in Bangladesh. Okay. The National Institute of Burn and Plastic Surgery. I didn't know they had any of that kind of shit over there in fucking Bangladesh. But anyways, told reporters more than 50 people were hospitalized with burns. Oh, that's fucking terrible. The incident took place at the Milestone School and College in Dhaka's northern area of Uttara. Interesting, man. All right. We're going to go ahead and get into the exact thing regarding the U.S. sending those Patriot missiles. This may be a little monotonous. We're going to skip through a little bit because it's a little bit of a longer ordeal. It's being reported by the Associated Press. So a lot of these talks that we often hear on this shit, most people start skipping this shit and because they're like, this shit is just too boring. I understand. But what we're going to do is we're going to do our best to go ahead and skip through and get the pertinent information that we all are looking for. All right, let's go ahead and get it.
Coordinating our support is as urgent as ever.
Okay, so if you guys don't know, this is the Minister of Defense, and I believe that this is all of NATO.
Putin is following his war agenda with grim determination and has no interest in true negotiations. He talks about peace in the morning, but by evening he fires drones and missiles at you.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, hey, I'm willing to fucking have peace when I have it my way. That's essentially what's happening. And but he still continues to bomb the fuck out of them. Well, not bomb, but, you know, airstrike. Well, not even that. Just a lot of drones.
Ukrainian cities and civilians.
No airstrikes, just drones.
Putin wants to buy time with this cynical game. He believes that his military machine will prevail in the long run, but he is mistaken. Russia's war machine is not only bringing, as we heard earlier, suffering and destruction to Ukraine, but also to the Russian people. It pays no heed to
Russia. It looks like those people were joining in remotely. It didn't look like that all these people are going to be sitting at this room here, but we'll see. So this is, again, just so you guys know, this is the UK Ministry of Defense right here. So
losses and causes the death of thousands of Russian soldiers. It serves to maintain the power of an inhuman regime that is blinded by imperial delusions of grandeur and brings great harm to Russia itself. Together you
don't need to explain that. We already know that. Just tell me where the fucking missiles are.
Needed Patriot systems as quickly as possible.
Okay, this is what's happening here.
How we can achieve that is something we will coordinate closely and in a spirit of mutual trust among partners within the next few days.
Who's those mutual partners? Just NATO? Just other NATO allies?
I already want to thank Secure for his support in bringing this coordination to a successful conclusion. Germany and its partners will also contribute to this effort with the resources that we are currently mobilizing as part of our enduring action on air defense. Let me take this opportunity to thank Belgium, Denmark, Sweden, and Norway for their significant contributions here. Only a few weeks after the relaunch of the initiative, there are already indications that we can significantly top last year's success. In addition, we will, together with our British...
That's a really good point that you just made, Steve. This guy talks real hard for a country that has to rely on us to survive. Yeah, that's no joke. This is specific, I believe, Germany right here speaking.
France provide 220,000 rounds of 35mm ammunition for the Gepard anti-aircraft gun system at short notice, financed by Germany. To protect the skies above the Ukraine, we have to support the Ukrainian armed forces in their offensive efforts to weaken Russia's aerial warfare capabilities. That is why we are...
Brother Pathkiller, my man, good morning. Good morning. We already know... You see, right now he's just trying to reiterate what's happening in the war. We know what's happening in the war. I want to know what's happening to our fucking Patriot missiles. That's what I want to know.
Further by providing additional investment and arranging a close technical cooperation between the German and the Ukraine defense industries. This sends a clear message to Putin. Dragging out the war will come at an ever higher cost to him. Ukraine will continue to successfully defy Putin's war machine and will weaken it a little more.
Come on, dude. Get to it. Get to it.
Thank you, Boris. Can I now turn to Dennis and then to Rustem? And after
these guys are, it looks like these guys are over there in their country, and they're there remotely.
We've heard from them. I will ask the press that are on this call at present to withdraw, and then we'll move into the battlefield update led by General Horbachev.
Thank you so much, dear ministers, dear secretaries.
Yes, thank you for that correction. Get some. I did notice that. What the headline was saying here, let me go ahead and bring it back so you can see where it says right here already. It says credit from the UK Ministry of Defense. This is what the UK Ministry of Defense organized: virtual NATO meeting to discuss sending weapons to Ukraine. And the guy that was speaking was Germany. Correct. Thank you for that. That's why I did that minor correction there. That, hey, this is actually Germany.
Dear colleagues and partners, friends, thank you for supporting Ukraine in our fight for peace. It is an honor to address you today as Ukraine's new Minister of Defense, and I look forward to working closely with all of you. Our partnership is vital to Ukraine's strength and resilience, but before we begin, I would like to invite my colleague, former Minister of Defense, Secretary of National Security Council, Rustem Umerov, to share his remarks. So, Mr. Secretary, dear Rustem, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, partners, friends, today marks my 14th and final Ramstein session since I first stood.
Ramstein? Okay, can we just please get to you talking about when the weapons land, how it's happening, who's, you know, I want to hear
in
that.
In 2025, international security assistance for Ukraine.
We already know all of the shit leading up to this. This is what I hate about this shit. No one wants to sit here and listen to this shit. This is why people fucking tune out. When this is kind of shit's being presented anywhere around the world, people are like, fuck this. I'm not even going to listen to these idiots.
I want you to never forget one thing.
No, I don't care about that.
The free world stands beside you. As Secretary of the National Security Council of Ukraine, I know that my country is not walking this path alone. Thank
Jesus Christ.
This opportunity to appeal to you, our partners and allies, for further support. My first request related to the urgent procurement of the U.S. weapons for Ukraine. Air defense, especially Patriot.
Yeah, no, just real quick, get some. Yes, if you look down here, every time I do these video presentations, most of the time I have it sped up on 1.25, which is not actually a lot. Most of the time when I'm just listening to something and trying to just listen straight to information, when I'm by myself, I listen to it 2 times. But sometimes other people will speak too quickly to be able to even make out that kind of shit. So I try to present here, and the reason why is because I'm condensing so many stories into a single hour. So,
and PAC-3 missiles, along with ammunition, are crucially important to us. This night, another one, massive combined attack, 24 missiles, 426 drones, battle drones, attacked Ukraine civilian objects.
That was last night. What we were just, I believe what he said right here is, this is just last night. Let me back that up.
24 missiles.
Back it up a little bit more.
To us. This night, another one, massive combined attack, 24 missiles, 426.
Man, 24 missiles, pretty decent amount.
Drones, battle drones, attacked Ukraine civilian objects. Again, we have casualties and victims among civilian population. So Russian terror is continuing, so we need to strengthen our air defense. I request the US to make these weapons available for purchase and our European partners to extend all the needed financing for their procurement. My second request is for financial support. Ukraine needs $6 billion to close this year's procurement gap.
Do you hear this? Did you hear what just happened right here? All right. So this is, again, another fucking fundraiser opportunity for these fucks every time. At least Putin ain't out here asking organizations to send him money nonstop every fucking time there's some sort of press release or whatever. This shit is frustrating. So now who has to pay that $9 billion extra dollars? And it ain't gonna be the rest of NATO. What are they gonna pay? Fucking 50 million of it?
$6 billion.
6 billion, not 9 billion. 6 billion.
My second request is for financial support. Ukraine needs $6 billion
only
to close this.
Only $6 billion.
year's procurement gap. This will allow us to build more FPV drones to hold the line, more interceptor drones to counter Shahid.
Brother Mount High, you came in at the right time, for me at least, to light up. So, because we're listening to some bullshit. Anyways, good morning to you, Gunther.
And additional deep strike weapons to take the war back to Russia. Third is preparation for 2026. I call upon our partners to allocate funds for Ukraine in their 2026 budgets proposals starting now. Safe loans are another critical source for financing for the coming
more loans. Yeah. You guys need more money.
Year, and we need to ensure Ukrainians' inclusion in this program.
Appreciate that, brother.
Our
Aaron.
mission is collective, and our unity remains.
My man over there on the Facebook side of things, he is also one of the co-hosts with me on the Diamond Effect. My man, always appreciate you hanging out with us.
Our greatest strengths. I look forward to working with all of you, with each of you, to achieve these goals and secure a lasting peace. Let me give the floor for a minute to Ukrainian Chief Commander General Syrskyi for the short remarks. Mr. General, please.
Thank you. Federal Minister of Defense, Secretary of State, Honorable Ministers of Defense, and your representatives.
Okay, so now I believe that this is one of their head military over there in Ukraine. He's coming out as a politician begging for money.
First of all, allow me to express my sincere gratitude to everyone for staying with us.
Yeah, you just read your little script there.
In an evil but faithful time for Ukraine.
What Zelensky told you to say.
I'm grateful for active political support and comprehensive military assistance of our allies. I can assure you that with these efforts side by side with Ukrainian soldiers, you defend our land from the aggressor and at the
This guy, okay, he not giving us shit.
But we can't defeat our will to freedom. And
we cannot take this. We cannot win without your money.
To be a part of a Euro-Atlantic community. Our priority is not only to destroy the Russian military machine, but also to continue implementing reforms and developing democratic principles in the whole sphere of life.
Now you're looking for peace.
Moreover, we have to save the lives of our civilians and our warriors. For this purpose, I have to call for increasing the assistance to Ukraine once again. We are still
Yep. He's calling out for more money once again.
Critically lacking the air defense systems and missiles for them. The long-range weapons, artillery shells,
it's so much
vehicles,
money.
Evacuation equipment, electronic warfare systems, radars, unmanned system, and other.
You be safe out there, brother Steve, my man. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Let's get to the bottom line with this, dude, and then we're going to move into Israel Hamas. There's a IDF strike that targeted over there the Houthi rebels, and we have a short story on that as well.
I believe we should rely more on each other to achieve greater results together. Only by joint efforts we would stop Russian aggression here and now.
Joint efforts with money.
And mutually beneficial meeting and further productive activity in implementing the agreements reached.
Okay, whatever. This guy is just talking for money. All right, so anyways, we're going to go ahead and move on into the next ordeal. We got Israel-Hamas war, and I guess they are striking down there the Houthi rebels down there. So let's go ahead and figure out what the ordeal is here and why this is happening right now. All right, boom.
Live now from Fox, we are following some breaking news as we are keeping a close eye on the Middle East this morning as it relates to a conflict with Israel. Take a look at your screen. The very latest from Israel Defense Forces on this Monday.
We got Bob, my man, up there in Canada as well. Always appreciate you. Hopefully you're enjoying your Monday as well.
Out on X a few hours ago. They say, quote, struck military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime at the Hudaydah port, engineering vehicles, fuel containers, naval vessels, Iranian smuggled weapons. The IDF will continue to act decisively against threats anytime, anywhere. We are getting this news as we are following the very latest out in the Middle East. I want to transition to give you a live look out in Gaza.
I wonder if they have any of these. I'll find them on social media for damn sure. But I wonder if the mainstream media knows what those pictures look like of what the IDF struck. I like seeing the images of what happened because it gives us more of a story a painted story, at least.
As we follow the very latest this Monday morning, you see plumes of smoke there in the distance. This information coming on the heels of breaking news we're following from the Associated Press that the UN Food Agency, they are accusing...
So did they strike it in Gaza? So there was Houthi military targets belonging to the Houthi terrorist regime over there in Gaza. Okay?
Israel this morning of using tanks, snipers, and other weapons to fire on a crowd of Palestinians seeking food aid. The territory's health ministry saying it was one of the deadliest days for aid seekers in over 21 months of the war.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
AP goes on to report that the World Food Program, in a statement, condemns the violence that erupted in northern Gaza as Palestinians tried to reach a convoy of trucks carrying food. The health ministry in Gaza saying at least 80 people were killed in the incident. The Israeli military has said it
Damn, 80.
Fired warning shots to, quote, remove an immediate threat, but has questioned the death toll reported by the Palestinians. The accusation by a major aid agency that has generally good working relations with Israel builds on descriptions by witnesses and others who also say Israel opened fire on the crowd. The bloodshed surrounding aid access highlights the increasingly precarious situation for people in Gaza who have been desperately seeking out food and other assistance. This as the war that has rolled the region shows no signs of ending. Israel and Hamas
kind of like how Putin is trying to just take over Ukraine. Yeah, that's pretty much happening over there. Well, it's not pretty much happening. That is what Netanyahu's doing over there. So
still engaged in ceasefire talks, but there appears to be no breakthrough, and it's not yet clear whether any truce would bring the war to a lasting halt. Again, giving you a live look out in Gaza.
All right, so let's go ahead and real quick, let me see if this is. We have. Oh wow, there is a weird story that just got updated. But real quick, before we get into that, I'm going to see if these remarks, because this is the full remarks. This happened an hour ago. Secretary Kristen Noem gives update on shooting of Border Patrol agent over there in New York. We're going to skip through a little bit and see what is to be said or found regarding this. This Border Patrol agent, I believe, was not in the motive just because he was a Border Patrol agent. And he's not actually just a Border Patrol agent. It actually breaks down into some other shit. But nonetheless, they didn't go after him because of that. I believe it was because it was robbery gone wrong kind of thing. But we'll see. I don't have the full facts yet.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Christine Elm. I'm the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And we just recently, in the last couple of days, have had one of our own that has been attacked and has been harmed dangerously by violent criminals that have been run loose here in New York City, but also...
Yes, and that you guys over there in New York allowed.
So in this country, as a result of sanctuary city policies and the policies of the Biden administration.
Right.
I just want you all to know that we have our hearts and our prayers going out with our officer and with...
We do know that.
They were attacked by two individuals that were set on robbing them, and thankfully he had his...
Okay, so it was a robbery gone wrong.
Attacked. They were attacked by two individuals that were set on robbing them, and thankfully he had his service weapon with him and was able to defend himself.
Who the fuck tries and... Okay, that's crazy. Why would you want to rob the cops, for instance? Border Patrol. Why would you want to rob the very guy that could fucking throw you into jail, charge you, all this bullshit? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would you do that? And you're going after a guy that you know is fucking strapped. You know he's ready to go. Why? You know what I mean? They always say that they go after fucking the weak, right? You know what I mean? That's not the weak target in this case. Very interesting.
And his friend, and injured one of those individuals that was trying to do them harm. His quick action speaks to his tenacity and his excellence in training and skill. And because of that, one of the perpetrators was wounded in this interaction and was incarcerated when he came in to get medical treatment. One of the suspected attackers, the one that was injured, his name is Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez, a Dominican.
Jeez. Jeez, let me replay that.
It was injured. His name is Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez, a Dominican national that is entering into this country illegally back in
So he's an illegal Dominican here.
2023. He was then released back into this country by the Biden administration. Miguel Francisco
Of course.
Mora Nunez and has a rap sheet that is a mile long. He was arrested. He was charged with grand larceny and also assault. The state of Massachusetts has an active warrant out for him for armed robbery with a firearm. He also...
Yeah, they pulled up on like this, not even a real motorcycle. They pulled up on like some piece of shit, like what they do in Brazil and shit, you know, like down there, like some piece of shit moped. Guy gets off, whatever, goes over there, tries to rob him. I think dude shoots, and then he shot back the guy robbing and killed him. Terrible. And I saw the video of dude. It was terrible. Yeah, it was a terrible scene.
Also has many other charges against him, such as kidnapping and witness intimidation. There's absolutely zero reason that someone who is scum of the earth like this should be running loose on the streets of New York City. He was arrested 4 different times in New York City and
wow. You were arrested 4 different times and you weren't fucking handled. You were here illegally. Fucking crazy.
Because of the mayor's policies and sanctuary city policies, was released back to do harm to people and to individuals living in this city.
Terrible.
Make no mistake, this officer is in the hospital today fighting for his life.
Oh, I thought he was dead. That's fantastic that he's, well, I mean, I hope he actually survives this. You know what I mean? Like, that's some bullshit.
Because of the policies of the mayor of this city and the city council and the people that were in charge of keeping the public safe, they refused to do so. And now we have the situation on our hand where someone who has dedicated their lives to protecting the public is now fighting for his own. I'm calling on every single mayor and sanctuary city and sanctuary governor to change their policies.
That's not going to happen. And you know that. I mean, I understand, and I get why you're fucking saying this, but you know it's never going to happen. These fucking commies, they hate the country, dude. They hate their own fucking people.
And to change their tactics right now. Their job is to take an oath to protect the public, to protect families that are out there.
Yeah, they're protecting the world's people and putting Americans last.
Every single day trying to provide for each other and to try to live the American dream, and they want to do so safely in their own communities. How many more lives will it take? How many more people have to be hurt and victimized before we have public safety be a number one?
No, and until you run these commies out of office, you're not gonna. It's an unrealistic expectation and call for action because it's not going to happen. These sanctuary cities, as we know, I mean, thank God that I got out of California at the time that I did. I mean, truth be spoken here. People like ask me this shit all the time. Like, I bet you feel pretty damn good about moving to Alabama the time that you did, huh? And I'm like, you ain't joking, dude. You ain't joking. It seems to only get worse and worse, man. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and find somebody that we can go ahead and send a raid over to. I can't thank you guys all enough for hanging out with us this morning. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys decided to be right here with me, so I'm very honored by that. So, we're pulling up the redirect right now. Let's see who is live. If there is anybody live, it looks like there's only two people that we know. We'll send you guys over to Fatty. Fatty's live right now. He has always some crazy fucking panels going and crazy takes over there. So it's good entertainment. With that being said, thank you guys for hitting that like button on the way out. Very much appreciate all your guys' contributions and help towards the channel and your comments and interactions, man, with the content. Very much appreciate that. Make sure you guys join the Discord. We've got the Discord that Naomi will throw into the chat as we're end here. Until then, we got tomorrow morning for more of the World's Madness. We'll be back. But until then, God bless everyone and much love and respect, everybody.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken, on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar.